Hi, T. Still a little tired. We are now on our way to Whitehorse, where we found more hot springs to soak in. So last night we stayed at Watson Lake.
Where is it?
Watson Lake. In Watson Lake, and the campground was called Watson Lake, which was on Watson Lake. Anyway, so it was like their, what's the term up here?
Provincial park?
Provincial park, yeah. So that's like equal to our state parks. It was only 20 Canadian dollars, but it was very quiet. Like, I don't know, I slept really good. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, it's a really nice wooded campground. They offer firewood again.
Sites are really big.
Yeah, and there's a couple of places downtown that's like a big gravel lot that you can stay in too if you have like a nice big rig and you don't want to take it, because the number one con to this place is that it's like 3 kilometers down a gravel washboard road. It's like a nice graded gravel washboard road. It's not horrible.
Yeah.
But, you know, some people who don't want to take their rig off-roading.
Yeah, it's funny, like the turnout for it when we got there last night, there was a Class A, like just parked right in the turnout, like, and they were just looking down the road.
Trying to decide.
You could tell they were like contemplating, if they wanted to do it.
But they have big sites, so
yeah, big rigs could definitely fit.
Yeah, absolutely.
We walked down to the lake when we took Carmen on her little, get familiar with the campground walk, and there were so many mosquitoes, so we're definitely heading into that territory, which is to be expected, but also gross. But it was a beautiful lake. And then, we kind of ran back to avoid the mosquitoes. Yeah. I think that's all there is to say about it.
Yeah, nice night.
Yeah. I am very looking forward to Whitehorse and soaking in some hot springs again. Whitehorse 2 nights ago, actually, and we've pretty much just been in the hot springs. So this is a Nordic hot springs up here. Is it called No, it's called Eclipse.
Eclipse Nordic
Hot Springs.
But
a Nordic hot springs basically includes the elements of a sauna, a steam room, hot pools, and normally cold pools.
Yeah, their whole thing is to clean yourself, get hot, cool down, relax, and then do that again.
Yeah, so this whole facility has like that all set up. They're introducing cold pools later. They're not installed yet. So this was recently purchased, and like they're in the middle of a huge like renovation.
Yeah, or I mean,
not even renovation.
Build.
A huge build. They're building a hotel. They're building a totally different facility for families. They're building. It's gonna be. It looks like the plans. It's gonna be fantastic.
Yeah, and I mean, I really enjoyed it. Even I would say the area that like the hot springs and all of that is like 90% done. The sauna's completely done. The steam rooms are done.
The hot pools are done. They have a relax room, meditation room, exercise room, and they provide you water. It's really cool. Like the whole way it's set up. Unfortunately, we can't really show you much because they don't allow cell phones in there. So I did get a couple pictures.
Completely different experience than
totally.
Liard, right? So this is still natural hot spring water, but I think it's treated just like other other ones with a little bit of chlorine, probably filtered.
They also say they empty all their pools every night and like clean them and then refill them every morning.
I would say it's definitely worth it. It just sucks it's so close to Liard, where it's like you go from hot spring to hot spring, but...
Why does that suck?
Well,
that's my favorite part.
Well, I'm saying that we're going to run out of hot springs soon, and like I wish we had them evenly spaced throughout our trip, but it's like we're hitting all the hot springs, and then we're going to have a big non-hot spring gap. That's all right.
Yeah. So, I guess our tips if you want to visit, they have a campground here. They only have electrical, and this drives me absolutely nuts for some reason. The electrical is on the wrong side in every single site. So you only get electrical. They have dump, they had fresh water, which was a different story. They said their well water wasn't working, so they like brought in fresh water, and she's like, it's a little murky, and we're like,
but it's fine to drink and all that. And I was like, you know what, I don't need,
we're not gonna use that.
So fill up in town or whatever.
Yeah, or they'll probably have the well running again. So
right, and they're still working on that. Like the dump station, I think, was a site, and now they're modifying it to turn into.
Yeah,
it's like
everything's still a little under construction. Yeah. It is $50 Canadian a night to stay at the campground, and then the hot springs, their prices change every day. And what I mean by that is, so there's 3 days a week that's like tiered pricing. So Thursday was like their cheapest price. Then I think it was Saturday and then Sunday. And then every day, no matter what, even on a Thursday, even the cheapest price, like before 6 p.m. is one price and after 6 p.m. is another price.
Yeah.
You get a 20% discount when you stay at the campground. So we went on a Thursday. We went before 6 p.m., which is their cheapest price, and then we got the 20% discount on top of that. So we paid $24 per person. Our tip is basically,
no matter what, come before 6. It's a day pass, so you can use it, and they put a wristband, and you can come back.
Yeah. So I would check online, and I would even call if the pricing isn't online to get like their cheapest price, because I think otherwise you could be spending like on the most expensive days, even after 6 p.m., like up to $50 per person. If you're into relaxation and hot pools and hot water and saunas and steam rooms, then this is like totally a place you have to add to your list. So it is about 20 minutes outside of Whitehorse, so we didn't get to spend, because we wanted to maximize our time like in the sauna or in the, spa. We didn't really spend any time in Whitehorse. We went down there yesterday, we ran some errands.
Checked out their Walmart, got some groceries.
Yeah, we went to Walmart to get food, and then walking around, I was like, no, I can't.
There was like traffic in town, and we're like, what is going on?
They were having an event too, so that added to it, where we were like, oh, let's just get out of here. But we went to a place called Save On Food, which I was like, okay, this is gonna be budget food, whatever, no big deal. But we went in there, and I'd have to say it was like a step below Whole Foods.
Yeah.
Like, it was really nice. They had a lot of like pre-marinated meat, pre-made stuff, and like really nice. So we actually stocked up, because we're going to Dawson City today, and we just don't know, you never really know like what's ahead. And we checked the border crossing to see like what they allow and what they don't allow, and they're fine if it's Canadian meat, Canadian eggs.
We have labeled all that stuff, so we just made sure to keep it all labeled from Canada, and they don't want any citrus at all. It was like it's not hard. It's just you have to look up. We
just wanted to double check, because food's so expensive up here that we didn't want to buy anything and then have it taken away in 2 days.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the last thing, we are the truck camper is sliding to the passenger side.
Yeah,
so
makes sense. This is like the heavier side, so I feel like those little bumps, like it's not.
Yeah, it like vibrates it over the course of multiple days. Yeah,
we have like rubber pads down and stuff, so it's not like it's sliding on our bed dramatically.
No.
It's just And we check our braces. We have them, our tie downs. Yeah. We have them tight, like good on there, but we don't want to tighten them. Just keep tightening them harder and harder, because now it just puts more stress on the frame point.
Where did you find this MacGyver solution?
So we were trying to find a solution, and our internet's kind of slow, but I was able to find a couple of different people. A lot of people made like really nice homemade systems. Some people started using these like roof anchors that look perfect, and I was like, oh, I really want to find that, but I couldn't find them up here, and it's just like a piece of metal, and it looks like what Lance offers to center it. But then I found some guy, and he called it his like redneck invention, and it was perfect for us. And so what it is foam insulation board, just cut into pieces and then taped to a 2x4 piece of wood or something, just to fill the spaces in front and behind the wheel well.
So we bought the wood, we bought the insulation, we've been carrying it around because we're like, okay, let's fix it. And then we're like, well, no, let's go to the spa. Or, well, no, let's go run errands. Or, no, now it's too late, I'm too tired. So we are like determined to do it before our driving day today. I'm a little nervous taking the truck camper off, only because it's shifted so far that like I'm really worried about it scraping the wheel well on the passenger side as it comes up, but I guess we're just gonna have to see what we see and do it.
Yeah.
Tired of playing Guess That Smell in your RV? We certainly were, and that's why we created Tank Tune-Up. We created this holding tank treatment with a dual action formula that not only breaks down waste, but eliminates odors. Our formula doesn't have fillers or artificial fragrances that honestly sometimes make the odors worse. Tank Tune-Up is so easy to use, just simply scoop it, rinse it, and forget it. Whether you're hitting the road for a weekend getaway or living the full-time RV lifestyle, Tank Tune-Up makes odors a thing of the past. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description to get yours today. And if you want to learn more about our product, check out our full video on it. Alright, so we just measured the distance between our wheel wells and, geez, there's so many mosquitoes out. The length of, you know, the front of our camper where it sits, and the wheel well is 50 and a half and the camper is 48. So we do have 2.5 inches of slack for it to move around. So the 1x are going to be perfect because that takes away 2 inches, so we'll still have half an inch, but because we're going to be putting in the insulation, it won't actually like really have that room to move.
Alright, we're gonna hurry up and do this.
Snug as a bug in a rug. It is not going anywhere. That was quite the task, but you're getting really good at getting it on.
It's so funny because, you know, I've said it before, but you don't get like a complete rundown owner's manual, how it works, like how to do things, like what things to watch, and like all trucks are different size beds, and like all campers are just different sizes, so it's like, I don't know, just interesting. You kind of got to figure things out on your own.
So we're gonna toss the extra foam in the back here. Carmen's not pleased for the mini takeover of the back seat, and haul it up to Dawson City. So we have stopped at Brayburn Lodge, which I believe is at mile 55
of the Klondike Highway.
Yes, there's another place that claims to have like the world's best cinnamon rolls. So of course, you know, since we're on a cinnamon roll kick this trip, we obviously stopped. So this thing is huge.
Yep.
My goodness.
This is interesting too, because it looks like you got raisins on here. So
I think the other one had raisins too, though. No,
I don't remember.
that's something you got a note when
Yeah.
you were, you know, doing this.
Last time I just swallowed the whole thing.
A gigantic.
Raven is trying to get in the car and get the cinnamon roll, so at least.
No, sir, or ma'am. Look at him just strutting.
If there's any bugs out there, you can have them. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right, well, okay.
I'm still trying
It's
to get my
his
first
truck
bite.
now. I know, you're still trying to get your first bite. So while you do that, I'll give you guys my opinion. It's good dough.
Just don't know if I can eat it with him looking at me like that.
I wish there was more icing and more of the like cinnamon sugar mixture. This bird wants our cinnamon roll. So intense. He's moved back to the hood. He just tapped on the window.
Mm-hmm.
Little pitter
No, I
patter.
think he's.
Oh, you think he wants the shiny money? You can't have this. Get.
No, don't upset the Raven.
What is he up to? Is it a crow or a raven? Do you know for sure? Which one's bigger?
Ravens.
Oh, then it's probably a raven.
Yeah.
Wow, it's a wild animal encounter. Anyway, all this to say, I mean, you could give your thoughts, but I think that the cinnamon roll we had on
The Galactic Center, or the
yeah,
Galactic.
yeah, that one was
More gooey.
better. Yeah.
And I mean,
Not that this one's bad. Like, I'm gonna keep eating it, but the other one just had a lot more filling, a lot more goo.
Yeah.
You know, it was very yummy.
Well, I don't know. We're also not to the middle yet. You know, when you go for
True.
those outside bites, sometimes they're just
Yeah, when
a
they're
little-
this big, I think it's really hard to keep them. That was a gigantic bite. Big bites for big cinnamon rolls. I feel like there was something else I wanted to talk to you guys about. Oh yeah, okay, so when you get to Whitehorse, you have a decision to make. Which way are you getting to Alaska from? So you can go north to Highway 2, Klondike Highway, which is what we've opted to do, which takes you up to Dawson City, and then we've learned you have to take a ferry across, and then you get to go on the top of the World Highway.
Yep.
Which is, what'd you say, 79 miles of unpaved road?
Yeah, something like that. 79-ish.
Okay.
But
And then I'm going to take this bite, and you tell me the other option,
Yeah.
which is to go, instead
So-
of north, it's more like northwest.
yeah, the second option is taking the Alcan continuous, and this year we were told that this section from Destruction Bay, which is just north of Whitehorse, all the way up to Tok, T-O.
No, we've heard it both ways. I thought it was talk, but
That section of road is really bad right now. So I guess it's always really bad, but this year it just happens to be really, really bad. Anyway.
also, my rating of this cinnamon roll has been going up the
more-
further in we get.
Yeah, the more you in, which
There's
makes
a lot
sense with
more
the
goo.
big cinnamon roll.
Mhm.
You know, you don't really have as much going on. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's a lot of show. The big cinnamon, and I
I
like
know.
the show.
I like
don't
the
get
show
me- yeah.
too. You get points for the show.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I would say the second best cinnamon roll we've had in
In Canada.
yeah. So that's pretty good.